Hello, everyone. Today I'm joined with Monica, who has agreed so kindly to do an interview today. And your story is very unique, like all journeys, and very interesting. But you're in the process right now where you've had separation, and now you're coming into union, and you are in union, and then maybe there's hopefully no more weaving patterns that are going to happen. And your DM lives in my city, and you live in another city. So, welcome. How are you today?
Fine.
Yeah. So before we continue, do you want to give us a little bit of backstory about your life, what you were, where you come from, what you're doing, and how you were before you met Ben?
I'm Spanish, so I'm from Gran Canaria, and I come to London because I'm a vet, and I wanted to specialize in exotic and wildlife. So I come to London to specialize, and then I kind of decided to stay here, got a daughter, and just life went on like this.
What's so interesting is so you come from Gran Canaria, which I have been to over
Yeah,
Christmas years ago. It's so nice, beautiful, sunny, warm, exotic, and you
yeah,
came to learn about exotic animals in London, you
in
know.
London, yeah.
So is that working with the London Zoo or is that a veterinary?
I did a master's at London Zoo, and with
Oh my
Snape,
God.
and then I did some training at Bristol Zoo as well, and then I study at the Royal College in London.
Oh wow, that's so amazing.
Yeah,
And that's the benefits of, I guess, like, traveling and living in different parts of the world.
yeah.
So then obviously you moved to the UK. Did you like were you spiritual before that? Were you always a little different?
Mm, yeah, I, I think that I've always been spiritual, but I didn't really explore it too much. In 2011, 2012. And then I started trying to kind of do some personal growing through like therapy, and then I went straight into spirituality, like constellations, spiritual guides. I left my job for 6 months, and because I realized that I'm a vet, but I wasn't very empathetic to people, so I've done just start trying to work on my emotions and how to show my emotions, and that lots of meditation and ground myself really.
Okay, wonderful. And that was all before you met your twin. So before we get
Yeah.
into the whole twin thing, let's get your definition because different people have different definitions, right? So for you, how do you define twin flame? What is a twin flame?
Well, I think that the difference is that, because of my childhood, I've always choose really toxic relationships. So it was just relationships that maybe were like, I don't know, people who really didn't up like I didn't really love them unconditionally. It was just like maybe sex driven or some kind of interest or just attachments and things like that. So I didn't really think that this person was a twin flame because I wasn't really. I mean, I read a lot about it, but I don't know. It's just different, you know. Like I think that with him, I've learned unconditional love,
Hmm.
which is really important, and it's like shocking to go back in my life. Like I was 10 years with my daughter's dad, and I never loved him. Like it's so shocking. Like, you just spend 10 years of your life with someone and you realize that you never loved the person. It was just like either attachments or toxicity or just,
Convenience.
like, yeah,
Convenience.
yeah, convenience, yeah. So,
Yeah.
so this year, I mean, I had another trauma in my job in 2 years ago. So that gave me a lot of anxiety, and that made me go back into myself again. Um, so I was doing a lot of meditations. I did some therapy as well, hypnotherapy. And then when I kind of focused myself and work on all the things that I had to work, because that accident brought a lot of trauma. I met him, And then this year, yeah, I realized that yeah, I've learned unconditional love through him. So
Yeah.
it's just like I don't know, like it's very intense, like the relationship with him, and it's like because I never met unconditional love before, I was rejecting it, and I was just doing anything to get rid of it, you know. And you
Yeah.
know, he was always there coming back, and I was like, why is this person coming back? Like, doesn't he get the point? Like, you know, I just don't want this, you know. I was like totally rejecting it, you know, like doing anything, blocking him, uh, talking bad to him, d- anything, anything.
Would you
And
say
he will,
you were the runner then?
yeah, probably, yeah,
Yeah. So that's
yeah.
interesting. So
But I blocked him. I don't know, 3 times, like, cause you know, sometimes I've had really weird dreams with him, and then after the dream, it was so real, at some point, I wondering the first time I blocked him, I dreamed that he was married, and I was like, what the hell? Like, you know, it was so real, and it was like so real. And I woke up, and I didn't even tell him nothing. I just blocked him, and I was like, is this true? You know, because he had some strange behaviors, and obviously because he lives far, I don't know. I had a little bit of distrust over him, so I just blocked him. And then when discussing with friends, they say, "Well, but I think that you really love this person. Why block him? Why not talk to him?" And then I unblocked him and talked to him. He always said that he's not married, so I don't know if that's true or not,
you
because
know,
obviously,
in the dreams, your
yeah,
fears play out. It's often
yeah,
all the negative stuff is your fears and your triggers. Could it be to
yeah,
do with childhood or other things? But it's all the things where you are kind of like afraid of being abandoned, rejected,
maybe.
all
Yeah,
of.
yeah, maybe, yeah. But you know, when he added me by chance on a Snapchat because he thought that I was funny, and then he always tried to get close to me, but I don't really like connections through Snapchat. So I was always like blanking him or ignoring him. But then at some point I had a lot of men last year in my life trying to get in my life. Like it was a nightmare at some point. I had like 10 guys like trying to either take me out. Like it was like entanglement. It was massive, and I was telling him about this, and he was always really supportive and really nice to me, like calling me like really attentive. And then he even will say to me happy Christmas, or caring for things, and he's quite intelligent as well. And then it was in February when I suddenly realized that maybe I loved him. I don't know. It was so weird. It was
It's
just
really
changed.
interesting.
Like I something went in my head and I changed. Because he knows, you know, he always will know if he will text me, he will know if I was okay or not. I didn't know why. You know, like one time I had a lot of things going on one day, and he messaged me and I didn't reply, and he said, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then he said, "No, you're not okay." And I don't know, how do you know this? I don't know. It's really strange.
Is he quite spiritual himself? Is he spiritual?
Uh, he believes in things because you
Mm.
know when we reunited, he sent me a poem about twin flames. And
Mm.
I said to him, "Did you copy this from ChatGPT?" And he said, "No, I wrote it." And he will, if I talk to him about past lives, or because I like doing tarot readings, and I'm very I feel energy very much, you know, like when I meditate, like I handle energy really a lot, like I'm really grounded. So if I talk to him about this, he doesn't run away or he doesn't think that I'm crazy. But then surprisingly, his mom is very spiritual, and his mom is like my mom. Like he, when we met for the first time, he mentioned something, and I was like, "There's no way you mentioned this because my mom is the same." Like it was the same thing. Like it was about a horseshoe. Like he said, my mom gave me a horseshoe, and I was like, "Excuse me," and I started laughing, and I was like, "Mommy too." Like it
We
was
have
so weird.
two. We have two in our
Yeah,
culture.
yeah. Like
Okay,
wait, I had one at home. Like I was like, "There's no way
same.
your mother." Yeah, 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 yeah. It's so
But
weird. It was so weird.
it's rare though. It's rare. So you know, I always say that you can only love another. to the level you can love yourself, right? So it's
Yeah,
almost like an ocean. If you haven't explored your own depths of your ocean within you, you cannot meet someone at the same place.
yeah,
So I want to talk a lot about all the stuff that you're talking about. It's amazing. Like your childhood, want to get into why you were running, why you were feeling like why you were sabotaging the connection and all this.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Before we get into that, before we get into personal stuff, let's just do the basics for people watching. So, what is the difference between a soulmate and a twin flame for you? Like, how do you tell the difference? People get confused.
Mm,
Earlier, you said about karmic. You said about karmics, there was no love there,
yeah.
and they were mean to you. They didn't treat you very well. So, what about a soulmate then? What's the difference?
I don't know. The last relationship I had that really broke me, and I had a period that I didn't want to see anyone for 3 years. I mean, not see, but intimate with anyone. I think that maybe that was a soulmate, but that gave me lots of, I don't know. We were really okay together. Everything was so perfect, but
Hmm.
I had to leave him because he had some problems. And I remember I wrote him a letter, but it was more like acknowledging how nice it was with him and how different it would have been if he didn't have these problems. But with the twin flame, I think that's just like crazy. Like it's like one time I argued with him and I'm so stubborn and I'm Taurus and I'm very stubborn. Like I'm really hot headed as well. I don't know if because I'm Spanish. And I was so upset and I said to him like the pain that I felt in my body was like parasites sucking my blood out of my body and giving me pain. And it was so intense. Like I never spoke like that to anyone. Like I speak to him like how I will never think of speaking to anyone.
So it's like your soul is on fire. That's why it's
Yeah,
called
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like
flame.
sometimes and like sometimes I will feel his pain as well. Or I will feel like sometimes I get goosebumps and I get this telepathy thing, or I don't know, or if he wants to be with me, I just feel this feeling. It's just so weird. So
So
I thought that I know.
no, it's interesting. There's a little bit of internet sometimes problem, but generally it's okay. But there's a little
Uh,
instability. I don't know if it's mine or yours. It could be mine. It's been
uh,
driving me nuts for the last weeks. Anyway, do you think everyone has a twin flame, or do you think it's something that's like very rare? Or
I think that because in my spiritual journey, I think that I've lived many lives.
hmm
So I think that maybe no, I don't think that everyone meets their twin flame in a lifetime, in a specific lifetime.
yeah. Okay,
But I
wonderful.
think that I think that everyone must have one. Yeah, I think that everyone must have one, but I think that it depends because I have so many dreams from past lives, and he does as well. Like, because I said to him at this, and he said that he has as well, but he never mentioned to anyone because he thinks that it's a bit weird. And when I done a spiritual work with spiritual guides, they say to me that I had many past lives, and I think that probably in this life I had to meet him.
Yeah. That sounds
Sometimes,
how I feel. I feel like
yeah,
that too. So I have all the
yeah.
questions here for divine feminine in union, but I'm gonna grab from there later the masculine ones because you might be the runner. So before we get into that, let's talk about the personal love story. Okay, everyone likes to know about how you met them, what you felt, what was the timeline of the story, when it all was playing out.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he added me on the social media, and then as I say, I was always blanking him.
When
And
was this?
then when we start,
What year? What year was
it
this?
was like it was in September last year.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we started talking, and he's very intelligent, so that I like intelligence. So that's
Yeah.
probably how he got me to talk, especially on Snapchat. And then he was doing like weird things. Like I would say to him, "Give me your number," and he said, "Well, I only give my number when I meet in person." But then he wanted to meet in person, but then it kind of was delaying the meeting, and I was getting frustrated, and I wasn't trusting him so much because
Yeah.
he was doing many things at once. He was working, studying, and doing other things. Um,
And where is
And
he?
then
Is he from England? He's from here or he's from somewhere else?
he's got a mixed background.
Oh, okay, but he was born in England. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he was born in England, but he speaks different languages.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. And then I was getting frustrated. So it took 3 months to me, but sometimes everything was okay. But sometimes I would just get frustrated and I would just bite him, like being really like aggressive, like say like block him or things like that. But then it was so weird because when we met, um it was really, really weird because he didn't really look exactly like social media. You know how social media is, right?
Did
Sometimes
he
people
look? Did he
just
look? Did he look better or worse? Because people say to me,
no,
I
he
look better.
looked a
Some
bit
people look
he
worse.
no, he looked a little bit worse, and
Okay.
because he never sent because he never sent selfies like full body. I always would go for like I'm into fitness, so I would go for fit guys like handsome or really fit, is whatever gym
Yeah.
guys.
This is
But he was a bit.
interesting. I like the fact that you talk about this because I interviewed someone and I don't know if they were twin flames, but he was like, "Oh, what I liked about her was because we had the same values and interests." No, with twin flames, usually you don't always are the same type. You're not that you don't normally would go for this
Yeah,
person,
yeah, yeah,
but it's
yeah,
the energy that keeps you hooked.
yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, but it was so weird because even I know all over the place. Like I have so much energy, and I'm so funny. Like I'm so crazy, right? And he's very calm, no? And then I thought in my head, I don't know, he's not really like in the pictures, right? Maybe he used a bit of a filter or something.
Or
But
Photoshop.
then, huh?
Or Photoshop.
But then it was weird because he took me in his car and I needed to go to toilet and he was looking for a toilet for me and I was like, oh, that's nice. And then I don't know, like for some reason I wanted him to hold my hand, like my hand was like trying to get to his hand, and then suddenly he held my hand and it was so like electric. I don't know. And then I was like home, I was feeling so good. And then this person didn't let my hand go all day long. Like he was holding my hand driving, he kissed my hand, and then he didn't kiss me nothing. Like to start with, I was like, oh, that's okay, because I've met other people for coffee, and they jump on my neck, and I like, what the
Oh
hell,
my gosh.
Yeah, but he was okay. But he will stop on the road and he would say, "Can I give you a hug?" And I was like, "What?" And he wanted to hold me. Like I don't know. He said, "You are so cute." Because I mean, I was trying to look cute, not too over the top. I don't wear a lot of makeup, but I was looking like cute. And he was like, "You're so cute," and I was like, "Okay." And then we went to this restaurant, to this Italian restaurant, and he was holding both hands and he was saying to me, if you don't see me again, I'm gonna tell my mom to do a witchcraft on you or something. And I don't know, he even held my leg at some point, my foot. But it was hilarious because I love socks and I was wearing some little boots, like leather boots, like really short. And I had some socks that I thought that they wouldn't see through the boot because it was really short, and the socks were like ladybirds. And you could see the ladybird, and he was like, "Oh my god, you have ladybird socks!" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm so sorry." And he was like, "It's okay, you're cute anyway." And yeah, and then I'm not really into PDA, but it was my birthday, and he got me a couple of gifts. He got me some flowers, but it was seeds, like bulbs, to grow them. Because he said, "Well, we're spending the weekend together, so they're gonna die. So I just want them to grow for you and live longer." And I was like, "Okay." And then he bought, because I'm a vet, he bought seeds for the wild birds. And then he took me to the park, and it was so romantic. Like the place was really romantic, and we were feeding the swans, and it was so beautiful. Like there were so many swans coming, and we was like holding hands, and that it was so cute. And he even kissed me in the park, and I was like, I wouldn't let anyone kiss me in public, but it was okay. Yeah, it was really weird.
You feel like when you're with them, like you're in your own world.
Yeah, but even being with him in the intimacy, it was so different. It was like I will never do this first time, obviously, but
Mhm.
um
Yeah.
it happened, and I don't know, it was just different. It was like so much love, and it was like we was one person. It was like inside. one, it was like two in one. It was really strange. I couldn't work it out. That it was like I wasn't even there. It was like in another dimension.
Yeah, you don't even feel like you're in your body, right? You feel like
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
out,
yeah, yeah. It was so weird. It was so weird.
like you're outside your body. It's very magical, very pure, very, like you said, safe. You feel very safe. You feel very
Yeah,
innocent.
yeah,
You feel a lot of love. You feel it's like angelic, it's divine, it's godly. It's like time stops. You're in your
yeah,
own
yeah,
dimension, astral, all that. It's weird. It's nice
yeah.
though.
It's weird. It's weird. Yeah.
It's
It's
beautiful
like
though.
it's like you will say this to someone and no one will believe you because if even when you are with someone in the intimacy for the first time, no one nothing goes wrong, right? But no, it was like perfect. I was like, this is so weird.
And you feel like you know everything about them and what to do, what not to do.
Yeah,
And um, okay, it's amazing. All right. So then you talked about that. Okay, so you're in the fourth wave, so it's quite fast for you because you met last year. Was it September last year? And then
yeah.
when did all the triggering? Because it's been romantic so far, the swans, the lake, the blah blah blah. It's very beautiful. The bulbs, the flowers, all that. It's great. So when did it go shit?
Well, you actually, after that, because he said to me we could meet every week or every other week, because he's very busy. Then he saw that I will come to him, and I say, "Excuse me, but I know having that, like you are a man. We already met halfway. You need to come to me." And then he said, "Well, I'm only gonna be free in end of July." And funny enough, I planted the flowers after I come home. And he was so shocked because I said to him, "Okay, see you in August then." And then he was like, "What?"
And which
And he was
month was
totally.
this? Which month was this that you said is
That was in May. In May.
okay?
So I said to him, I put myself in my place, and I said, "Okay, see you in August then." And then he was so destroyed. He was like, "Are you serious? Like, we're not gonna meet until August." And I said, "Yeah, we're not meeting. We're not meeting. You either come here." And then suddenly, funny enough, he had a conference in London, so he was gonna come to the conference a couple of weeks later. But then I think that he must have been really, really busy because at some point he stopped the masters for a minute, so I thought that he was making it up, but I think that he was really busy. But it was after we was together he started becoming very detrimental, like very touchy feeling with me, like because
Sexual.
I'm very independent, so he will post like love songs, and or we will have an argument and he will post like when you are both toxic but you love each other, like stuff like that. Like I was like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, I mean, you're just losing the flow. Or I went out for my birthday and I got really drunk, and the girls posted a video of me dancing on the on the
Table.
on the bar on the top on the table, and he was like, was that or I went on holidays and I don't know, because of him I wanted to change something in me because of his behavior, because he was like very on top of me,
Like
controlling.
needy,
Like
codependent.
I have a bikini picture on my social media. He was like, "Oh, I don't like that, this and that," and I was like, "Well, I mean,
Controlling, jealous,
yeah." and
suffocating.
he and I would say to him, "Well, you're not my boyfriend as such. You haven't locked me in." And he would be like, "Well, almost." And I said, "Well, put a ring in my finger, if you want to lock me in. Otherwise, you're not locking me in." So, we started having a lot of little arguments. And it was when I went to Lanzarote for a short trip. I was feeling very spiritual. Like I needed to change something in myself. And I decided to share a house with a lot of people like that I didn't know, because I like meeting people. And he didn't quite know that. Well, maybe a little bit, but he wasn't that happy about that because obviously there's gonna be men as well. And then I
So he
rented
was
the car, and
insecure,
he's
possessive.
insecure, yeah. But his insecurities were coming so bad. And
Yeah.
and then I rented the car and I went on a trip, and I took some girl took a really sexy picture of me of my back, and I posted it, and he said, "Who took that?" And I said,
Oh,
"Well, a
yeah.
girl." And he was like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Yeah." So when I come back, I realized that, I learned a lot from people there. Like there was a lot of people that had a lot of pain inside, and they will find me as a
Healer.
person to talk, yeah. But there was a woman, funny enough, and she totally fucked me up because she said, because I talk about my story and how I've progressed in my personal development and that, and she said to me, well, young girl, maybe if you will come down to your heart rather than from your ego, your ego. If you come down in your heart, maybe things will be better for you. And I was like, what? And she really offended me, you know. So I thought that maybe I needed to work on something. So I come back. That was in June. So I said to him, "Look, you know, I've had such a good experience in the trip. Blah blah. I met so many people. I realized that people love me, like you know, they accept me. They don't give me grief like you know." And then he said to me, "You realize that at this moment you play with my feelings." And I was like, What are you talking about? Like I wasn't aware that I
He
was
was being
hurting.
he was triggered, right? His
Yeah,
childhood
yeah,
stuff and
yeah.
all that.
So I didn't realize I was hurting him. So I said to him, "Look, I need I don't want to talk to you anymore. Like I need a break. I just want to be
Space.
alone
Yeah,
and
yeah.
focus on myself." And that was funny enough on the 7th of June. And then because you know sometimes he will give me a couple of days and then he will text me again. I really wanted to be alone, so I blocked him. I blocked him everywhere. So you know, then there was a lot of things going on, you know, with my family and stuff like that. And then there was a lot of guys trying to talk to me. So I engaged with some guys, like I didn't meet them or have sex with them. And I was busy, like I was busy with work, busy with. I was thinking, I wasn't thinking so much on him. He would come on my meditations. I was like, leave me the fuck alone. You know what you're doing here? Or he would come in my dreams still, you know, like writing me. He was trying to write me, but he couldn't reach me. And then I would wake up but you know he was there. It was only when I went on another trip to Montenegro, and it was only when I come back one of his flowers started to flourish. And I was like, oh my God, this flower is so beautiful. Like, it's the most beautiful flower I've seen in my whole life. And you know what? That was in August. And I sent him the flower picture. I unblocked him on WhatsApp. And I sent him the picture. And I don't know why. I said, look, no, I saw it. I said 3 months later. And he replied saying, this is what happened when you look after him, beautiful things. And I was like, okay, he's not over this. So I left him there. And then I was talking to a guy, but he was very intense and he was giving me headaches. So I was like, I can't do this with this guy. So at some point in September, exactly on the 7th of September, I did a meditation to open my heart. And in this meditation, it was so weird because the when my heart opened, it was this flower opening in my heart, and it was him, and I was like, what the fuck? And
This was in September
in
last
September this year, yeah, yeah,
year.
and it was weird.
A lot of people had heart opening in September.
Yeah, yeah, it
Yeah.
was so weird. Trust me. And he was him, and then I knew that he is the person, yeah. And I added him that minute back on social media, and I didn't think that he would add me because you know after all the grief I've given him, he replied straight away saying, "So she's back." And I don't know, it was weird. So she's back. It was almost like he was waiting for me to be back.
I want to ask you a question. You know, when you were having the dreams, the telepathy,
Yeah,
and the meditation in separation, and he would come
yeah,
in your mind,
yeah.
did it
Yeah.
make you feel angry, annoyed, like repulsed, or it made you feel love, or you felt weird? Because a lot of the in separation, if you talk about the runner or the divine masculine or whatever, they do get that, but then sometimes they don't like it, you know?
No, I will think, oh, you know, I still dream of him, or sometimes I will check, you know, like on him, or but not like that. 'Cause I was really like busy and I was doing my own thing, but I would be like, oh, you know, I dream about him, but I dream about him so much that I didn't really think that it was weird. But I thought, well, maybe he's thinking about me.
And then now that you've kind of started to get back into union, has he
Oh,
stopped this? Has he stopped being insecure and jealous, or he's still being
yes. yeah, now I hate it so much because now I look like the bloody chaser.
Or really tell us more. So basically it's switched now.
Yeah, and it's so frustrating.
Well, what's happened? So I want to really get into the details of this, you know. So
Yeah,
basically you unblocked him, social media
yeah.
is open, she's back. And then what happened?
Well, I don't know. We've talked, and he asked me to meet. He asked me to meet 2 weeks ago, but he had a conference in Bristol, and he said to me, "I've booked a hotel. Like I will book a hotel for us, like to spend the weekend. Will you come?" And I, because I'm so stubborn, I was like, "Well, it's 2.5 hours drive. I'm not going there." Like
Yeah.
because I still have to drive, and I said to he really wanted to meet because we really because when we come back together it was like 2,000 times more intense, the whole thing. Like
Yes.
I actually said to him one of the days that I actually wanted to be inside him, inside his body.
It is
and he
weird,
said
and it is
and
very,
he said
it's like
and
atomic bomb energy, isn't it? It's
yeah.
apocalyptic, it's huge
Yeah, yeah,
energy.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And he said the same to me, and I was like, "This is just so crazy, Like I said to him, if we meet, it's gonna be crazy. Like it's gonna be more intense, and it's gonna be,
Unless you ground, unless you
yeah,
ground.
yeah, yeah." But then I didn't meet him, so he was a bit disappointed. But he said, "Okay, we'll meet another time." And then he doesn't use WhatsApp very often, but then after the conference, he said that he used it for work. But after the conference, I started checking his WhatsApp. I don't know why. And he was using it a bit more often, not super often, but more. And I started getting a bit jealous, and I was like, I want to stop this because this is so unhealthy. And then he put a picture on the WhatsApp as well. Well, before he didn't have a picture, and he
Oh
loves
my
art.
God, you become
Yeah,
him now because
yeah,
this
yeah,
is how
yeah,
it
yeah.
happens.
Oh my
Both
God.
of you have to be each other and understand the pain you gave each other.
Oh, oh. Yeah, but he put the profile picture, and because he loves art, and I love art as well. He put the restaurant in London, like Bacalania, which is really romantic. Like it's got the statues on that. And the
Oh,
first thing in my head, was he took some woman there, and he had a lovely weekend. So because I talked to him about everything, he knew that there was something going on with me anyways, but I wrote to him and I said, well, you put a profile picture on you have a lovely weekend in Mayfair. And then I said to him, and also you are using WhatsApp more often, no? Like you never use it, you're using it more often. And I said to him, I'm just feeling a bit insecure. Maybe you've met someone else, like, but you can tell me if you did. And then he replied saying, well, the profile picture is for a couple of years ago and I like it, so I put it there. And then he said to me, can you
and you
stop
know what?
overthinking?
You know what? He was probably thinking about you. That's what I'm getting inside my heart is like he was thinking about taking you or you and you got insecure.
Yeah, maybe. And then yeah, maybe. And then he said, please, all I'm asking you is to stop overthinking now because you just overthinking. And then I just gave him a bit of silent treatment. Like he would give me a silent treatment before, and I gave him a bit of silent treatment, and he knew that I'm upset. And then I sent him a message saying, "Oh, I'm just low in chats today," and he put like a face like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." I don't
And
know.
when
But
was
yeah,
this?
it's bad. It's bad because now I don't know. He seems to be really busy at the moment with work, but I don't know. Like I don't know. I feel so needy now. Like I'm hating it because before he will open a message and say, "I'll be right back." And I said to him, I miss that you don't put this anymore. Like like when you put "I'll be right back," it reassures me that you are coming, like you're back, but you just don't do it. And he puts it now, because I mentioned it. But I mean, I know that he's busy, but I don't know. It's just giving me a bit of a headache. So I decided I actually said to him, look, I can't do anything about this. I can't control you. Like I can only control my feelings and myself.
Mm.
So I'm just gonna be okay with it. Like whatever you do, I'm gonna be okay. And then, I ground myself through meditation. I've been doing a lot of meditation, and I've listened to music, so I just forget. And then this week I was really insecure, so I read the tarot, and the tarot said you're so insecure and jealous, but you don't have to worry because the relationship is you're being solid, together, like talking and
It's pure
communicating.
love. It's pure love, but it's just your childhood. It's
Ugh,
childhood
yeah,
insecurities. Yeah.
yeah,
Can you talk
yeah,
about
but I went home as well. So at home, I tried to make out with my parents. So I've sorted that out as well. So I've been feeling really emotional. So I only come back from Gran Canaria on Tuesday. So I've been feeling very overwhelmed. So, but yeah, but I'm feeling better now. Like yesterday, I was at the gym with my friend, and she said you need to get the power back a bit, because you're too focusing on him. And yeah, this morning I changed the chip a bit. Yeah,
I mean, it is difficult because you feel sometimes compelled or pushed or pulled to get obsessive a little bit, sometimes a little bit a
yeah,
lot. And it happens to both actually. So basically, now what's the current situation with him and you? Like, are you still communicating every day? Because you're not in physical union, you're not living together, but you're kind of like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
communicating, right? Is it
yeah,
healthy now or
yeah.
still up and down?
No, 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 no. I've dropped my ego totally since I work on that. Since I opened my heart, I dropped my ego. So I said to him, I'm a different person now. I don't want arguments. I'm not looking to um be on top of you. I don't want this pull and push. I don't want it. And in
Yeah,
fact, when I felt bad, I didn't involve in. I dealt with it myself. I was gonna write still like all impulsive like but I dealt with it myself, grounded myself, and then I communicated as normal with him. But I actually mentioned it to him, like because I'm so open with him. I said to him everything I'm feeling. But yeah, I'm different, and even when I disconnected that day, I just feel so disconnected with myself. Like when I disconnect from him, it looks like my I'm just so dead inside. I don't know.
inside. Yeah.
I said to him clearly, like I could spend every day of my life with him, like living together. And I also said to him that I cannot live without him in my life. So
Yeah.
even if we are not together, I want to make sure that this person is there.
There's a connection. But can we talk about your
Yeah,
childhood? Because you said that there was childhood stuff that you were working on. So what
yeah,
was it for the
yeah,
people who are watching to understand? Like we understand the dynamics, we understand that you were being triggered, both of you. So what was it from your childhood? You said you had challenging time.
yeah. I mean, I'm the middle child, and I don't know. It was when I grew up, I because I've been looking back into my childhood. So basically, my mom, she didn't really look after us too much. She would just leave us like 2-year-old, 3-year-old with us, 6-year-old, like all day. And then because I don't know, my dad has been very strict, so I was focusing all the negative in my dad and thinking, well, he didn't love me. I was trying to be good for him. But I think that deep inside is my mom as well, because she left us, so I felt a bit lonely there. Like I didn't feel this love from her as a mom. So it was always my dad caring for us, and then my dad. I was the middle, and I was really opinionated. I was really like, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that, and they will always fight with me, or they will like give me a slap or something. So I was always my aim when I was little was. No one loves me, no one cares for me. I'm gonna be 18 and I'm gonna fuck off from this house.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. That's what I did.
So what was
So
that
so
bringing
I
up for
was
you? What was that bringing up
second.
for you in your twin flame dynamic? What was it bringing up for you? It was almost like fuck you and no one loves
Yeah,
me. I'm
yeah, yeah, yeah,
unlovable,
yeah,
or
yeah, yeah,
what was
yeah. Unlovable. Yeah, yeah, unlovable. Yeah, yeah,
because my parents never gave me, I was always left alone. Do you also like what was playing out with him? Because he was giving you loads of love and you were feeling
yeah,
unlovable, so you were rejecting it. But were you
yeah,
thinking something about like, oh, like my mother he's gonna leave me eventually, he will abandon me, love doesn't last long, and was there
yeah.
those
Yeah. I think that he had a similar childhood because when I spoke to him about my childhood, he said that his childhood was similar, and he left home very young as well, and he got left to because he didn't want to do the family business. He said, "Okay, you do your thing." So he worked very hard to have a position in life. So it was the same, but then maybe he's more forgiving than me, and he accepted the parents, and he's now living with the parents while he's studying and that. But he said that my parents don't hate me really, that they did the best they could, and with the resources they had, which I mean is true, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, he had a similar childhood, but I think that he's more forgiving. So when I was home this time,
Yeah.
um, I was trying because my dad is got a health problem now, and I don't know. I was trying to um,
Kind
make
of.
sure that I'm okay with my dad, but then I realized that my mom, she's been so selfish because she doesn't really accept me a lot, my mom. So I realized that my mom has always been had this man next to her, that he's so like he's a bit sick now and he's still caring for her. So I realized that she has everything and she never appreciate anything. So that's probably why she never appreciated me, because I've worked so hard to I worked so hard in my career as well to be more loved by them.
So
So
your
yeah, I
mom was
realized
quite,
that, and then I had a chat with her, and I told everything how I feel, because I can never speak with my mom. So I told her that I think that she's selfish. She never really, I never see her giving my dad a kiss. Like my dad is sick. He's cooking for her every day, doing the shopping, blah blah blah, and I was there and I said to her, well, you haven't even said thank you. I wish I had this man in my life,
yeah, yeah,
doing everything. And yeah, I cry a lot. Like I said to her, because, they think that I didn't come sooner because I'm selfish. That's the
um,
thinking they had for me. But I said, well, my dad is sick. So, he's the role of the family. So maybe
yeah,
I didn't want to come because I get a bit upset if
upset.
I see someone sick. So I said, well, maybe I wasn't ready. No one ever asked me how I feel about my dad being sick now.
Yeah,
So I said, well, I'm coming now because I'm ready to come. And I was happy to come and see my dad look so handsome and so sexy. I said to him, you look so sexy and so hot. Like, what's going on there? You look like 15 years younger, and he's so strong. Um, he's been diagnosed with cancer, and he just looks so strong. He's pulling the whole household. So um,
is he is
yeah,
he on is he getting treatment?
yeah, he's
Treatment.
getting treatment, but he looks amazing. Like he's on the third session, and he has one more left. And he just looks amazing. I say, well, I mean, if my mom didn't have my dad, she will basically
Be lost.
be
Your mom
finished,
was,
and it's sad as well. Like I could see that it's sad that you spend the whole life with a person and you will only appreciate this man when he's gone,
when
because
they're
you won't.
gone. And do you know what
So
it is? Your mom was very entitled,
yeah,
expecting,
exactly. Yeah,
and not appreciating. And I don't know what her background is. And what's interesting is a lot of the runner twin flames, who we call usually the divine masculine, which you probably were, if I'm honest with you, is
yeah,
issues with the mother. A lot
yeah,
of issues
yeah,
with the mother. And so then
yeah,
when you meet your twin flame, it's all the projections of the mother wound, of like,
yeah.
all the walls come up because you think that they're going to treat you the same, or the toxicity, and it triggers, and then for the other one, they also start becoming that way,
Mhm.
and you just have to learn that it's to do with your own stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
it's a healing for you to go back, right?
Yes, but I think that because every time I go back, I hear something as well. So now that I understand that it's about my mom entitlement, I can work on it, and I don't have that feeling, because it's just always there. Like every time I go, so with my dad it's okay. Like I gave him a hug, and I gave him a kiss, and I'm sure that he'll be okay. But with my mom, I was a bit more detached as usual. So
Is she
I
sick?
will.
What was her
Yeah, so
response?
she's just so annoying.
Is she
she's
quite
like she's
dismissive?
like, she always has something to say. Like if I give her a hug, like she wouldn't think that it's genuine. She would think that it's fake. Like one time, because we drink a lot of espressos back home after lunch and that. So one day I drank the coffee, and she said, "You drank the last coffee," and I said, "Yeah, mom, but." I could make you another coffee with love, you know. And she said,
Yeah.
"Don't take the piece out of me." And I say, "I'm not taking the piece. If I do it, I do it with pleasure, you know. I will make
Genuine.
you a coffee, and you can say thank you." So I made her a coffee, and then my daughter brought it to her. So
Yeah.
she didn't say thank you. She wasn't grateful. All she said was, "I can't believe you sent your daughter with a hot coffee to me. She could have burned herself." And I say, "Mom, seriously, she is so annoying." Oh,
She must be very miserable and very sad
yeah, yeah,
inside,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. That's why I thought. But I only got to a conclusion after talking to a friend, because I have a good friend there, and I was discussing this, and she said to me, "I think that your mom is very entitled. She's never appreciated your dad. She's very miserable, and it must be really hard to have
Hard
this
for
life,
her.
you know."
You know,
So
they don't know, do you know anything about her childhood?
yeah, of course, her childhood was disastrous. Like her dad was alcoholic, hit the mom, hit them. You know, it wasn't a nice childhood, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
she's stuck in
Like
that. She's stuck in that.
I work on my childhood, so I don't know. I said to her, she's very slow now. She's had so many surgeries. I said, "Mom, you could smile, you know. Maybe that will give you a bit of happiness, you know." And she's never smiled, nothing. And I'm like, oh God. She
Do you know
lives in
what
Gran Canaria. Go to the sun, you know, go
the
outside.
beach. You know what I find is like I've got to a stage now when I like see the ego in people, I find it funny.
Yeah,
So with my parents, like they've changed a lot too. So whenever they say like sometimes my mum will say or my dad will say something like this, you know, and not be nice, I laugh so much.
yeah,
And they start laughing now, and every time anything happens, everyone's just laughing because it comes to a point where even your mother will start to laugh about how stupid it is the behavior, you know, and
yeah, yeah,
how
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Well,
and you're
my
holding
dad was,
on.
yeah, well, my dad was kind of that, and you know, I think that his diagnosis is changing, his attitude towards me as well. So you know, even if he says, "Oh, I'm sick," whatever, you know, I think that if he didn't have a strong positive attitude, he wouldn't be doing so well. He's
Yeah.
84,
Yes.
you know. He's
Oh my God.
84. He's doing amazing. That he's so seriously, he's so fit.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah,
It's interesting when you look at people and you see they stay positive and they stay happy, they look younger, right? And
yeah.
but your mom's stuck in this conundrum. So with
But
regards to your twin now, like do you know what in the space when you were like have known each other, did he do any therapy or inner healing or was he on a journey or even physically was stuff changing in his life since you met him?
mm, I don't know. I don't think that he's done therapy, but I think that he's changed now in that respect. That now that I come back and I'm a bit more on top of him, I think that he's more secure with himself.
Yeah,
Like you know, he's not posting things. He's like yeah, I think that he's more settled. Like before he was more on top of me, but now he's like kind of more grounded.
more relaxed, grounded,
Yeah,
trusting.
more relaxed. Yeah, yeah.
And
but
then what are
eh,
your
but but
yeah.
I don't know, I like when before he was like more intense, like posting like love songs and that, but now I'm thinking, okay, whatever, you know.
Yeah, but what's interesting is now you appreciate it or you want it back. But before, when he was doing it, when he was chasing, the runner doesn't like it, right? The runner finds it repulsive and too
Yeah, yeah,
much, sickly.
yeah,
And now that you are feeling you missing the energy, right? You miss the attention, and then
yeah, the attention.
the runner really starts kind of sometimes get annoyed, but also like want it now. But it needs to balance,
Yeah,
right? So what are your hopes for the future with him? Like, do you have any hopes and dreams? And do you think you'll be doing stuff together, either like purpose or mission or like moving to get like what do you want to do?
yeah, I don't know, I would love to move in with him in the future.
And does he also feel the same way? I'm sure he
Well,
does.
he said that he would like as well. He
Yeah,
would like
yeah.
as well, but obviously he needs to sort his things.
Yeah, it's time, right? He's got to sort his university out and you've got to continue to like
Yeah,
stabilize.
cause he's younger as well. Yeah, yeah.
He's got what, sorry?
He's younger. He's a few years younger.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. So
Yeah.
wonderful. Is there any sort of message you want to give out there to the people watching? Because your journey doesn't seem to be as crazy as some others, you know. There's a spectrum. There's a spectrum. My one was like on the side of crazy, but not fully crazy. But I have had people and I have clients, whatever, where it's absolutely manic and insane.
Really?
And yeah, like, you know, like whether the DM is like a total drug addict, you know, like heroin
Okay.
or they
Uh-huh.
do actual prostitution or porn, or they're doing crazy shit like on the next level where there's a lot of distortion, a lot of rejection, a lot of
Oh,
blocking. But as in your case, it seems to be like, you know, there was the recognition, there was a little minor annoyances, and you're ironing it out. But you are fourth wave, so it is easier, and
yeah,
it depends on how much wounding there is, you know. So,
yeah,
what sort of as a person who ran and now has returned, like what
yeah.
message do you want to give to the people watching about how they can, you know, have that inspiration
Um, I don't know. I think that they need to like kind of ground themselves and follow their hearts. Like just believe that like it's like this. I don't know.
to
I don't
believe and
know.
ground and trust and let it
Yeah,
unfold?
yeah, I guess that trust, like, cause it's probably mine hasn't been crazy. Cause I've done so much work on myself as well. I mean, I'm very self-aware, so I've done a lot of work. But I was a bit oblivious at some point. I thought maybe it's a twin flame, but then I was like, no, it's just it's just toxic bullshit again as well. But then no, I mean it's the signs, it's I see angel numbers. Before I added him back, it was angel numbers every hour. It was like, what the hell, And it was happening before that. So it's just many signs. So it's just if they don't believe or if they're not spiritual, they need to kind of go into a spirituality a little bit.
Yeah, because doubts are very common. Now,
Yeah,
with DMs that you would say you would be the DM, the runner maybe, and you were spiritually done a lot of work. Like for example, if you compare
yeah,
it to my one is was completely
yeah,
no spirituality, no inner work, completely
yeah,
oblivious, completely matrix, you know, all that
yeah.
stuff. So what advice would you give to the DMs watching? There are DMs who watch, you know, or runners.
Just to work on themselves, I think that really that separation really was needed because
Yeah,
I was burned out. I just burned out
yeah, yeah,
for whichever reason. It was very intense. It was burning love. Like the love was burning me. It was like, oh fuck, I can't stand this. It was so intense. Like it's like you love someone but you hate them as well. Like what the hell? It's
yeah.
it's so it's a contradiction. So I think that people who are separated, they really need to really be self-aware and work big time on them. Because
Yeah.
also like it's so much about energy. So I feel it. Like if he says, "Oh, I'm so horny," like I get horny as well. Like it's all energy. So it's all synchronized so much. So
Yeah.
I think that when you are working on yourself, they are really working on themselves as well.
So they're also doing, if you're doing, they're doing because they mirror
Yes.
you.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
definitely.
And
Cause when I see him, I want to ask him this. I want to ask him, how did it impact you, me leaving, I want to know because I haven't asked him. I want to ask him in person. But I think that it massively impact on them
yeah,
because
and
whether before he was very attached or very on top or very jealous, me leaving made him ground him in a way that he probably thought, oh, she's not coming 1 week off or 2 weeks, it's already 3 weeks, it's a month, it's another month, she's not coming back. Like, it makes the person to kind of help them to
yeah,
detach a bit from that dynamic. So I
yeah,
think I think that any separation is needed. I mean, I was reading that many people is separated for years. I don't think that I could do years. So I think that the more grounded and the more self-aware you are, the more quick that your brain can engage in working towards yourself and changing whatever you need changing. I think that the quicker you reunite in whichever way.
yeah.
Yeah, because I
Perfect.
couldn't I couldn't imagine. the way I felt when I opened my heart in that meditation, I couldn't imagine being away from him for years.
So I haven't seen or spoken to mine in 3 years, and
Yeah,
that's a long
really,
time. I
it's
would
a
like to
long
say
time.
I'm quite self-aware, but it depends on the other person also, the other
Yes,
person has
yeah,
to have their shit together. My
yeah,
DM was completely lost cause at that time,
yeah,
completely off the rails. But
yeah,
anyway, it's been so interesting to understand your perspective and your
yeah.
story and see that, now you're saying the energy is still quite a lot, isn't it? There's still energy you
Hmm.
feel with him. It's
Yeah.
still, does it still bring up like triggers or hatred or love or,
Not really. It's just bringing a little bit of insecurity in myself, but I think that is not a bad thing because that just means that I need to kind of bring the energy back to me and refocus and balance it.
yeah, release it, balance it,
And
focus.
and it's just because I want to see him so much, and for one reason or another, like we haven't met yet. I think that there's a lot of tension going on, but
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, like,
Wonderful.
huh?
Wonderful. It's a journey, isn't it? Right? It's called the journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not easy. And
But I
it's
don't know, like, if you haven't been with yours for 3 years, I don't know. I just don't know how you do it because it's just so hard.
it makes you into a badass warrior.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
There's
I don't
like
know
you
how. Yeah,
completely focus on mission and purpose, and you completely let go.
yeah,
Takes you to another spiritual level of advancement, I think.
yeah. It's
Some people
detachment.
decoration for like 20 years. But it depends
Yeah,
what wave you're in. Depends what wave you're in. It depends how much work you've got to do. But
yeah,
also, in flames, we choose before you come down in your soul contract, some choose easy journey or they choose small things to work on, and some
yeah,
choose global issues, and you're healing them because you have to take on your family, society's issues, work through it, and let it go. You're healing. You're like an injection for the
yes,
humanity. So
yeah.
some twin flames took on big roles to clear stuff. And so
Yeah.
the separation is longer. It depends.
But it's funny. It's funny because when I had the crisis and I broke up from work for 6 months and did so much meditation, I did a full moon meditation one night and I see myself with my daughter now, and I was like, "That's so weird." And I learned my mission in the world. It was gonna be unconditional love, and that was in 2012 or 2013. And then I got pregnant soon enough after, and I was like, oh my god. And then it was a drama of relationships, and I said to him this time, I said to him, oh my god, it took me so long to find unconditional love, and I feel now I can leave this world, like I've done everything I wanted at work. I have a lovely daughter. I met you and you showed me unconditional love and this and that, and he said to me that he feels the same, that he could leave this world and be happy and content.
Yeah.
And I said to
Also,
him, yeah, but you are so young. I said to him, anyway, you haven't finished uni. And he was like, yeah, but
it
I
doesn't
feel like that, he
matter.
said.
It doesn't matter because you think the same way. But you know what I have found is the DM runners who are female, it's easier. And also if they're spiritual, it's easier. If you've got some
Yeah,
spiritual backgrounding and if you're a female body, the female body is more open and receptive to the divine and
yeah,
healing. But the DMs who are men and who are not spiritual, it is
yeah,
a shit show.
yeah.
The ego, the patriarchy, the ego, and all the sexual distortions, it's a shit show with them.
Yeah,
But the female DMs are much easier, spiritual ones, much easier.
hmm,
So you're good. All right. Thank you so much. If
yeah.
someone wants to reach out to you, like, are you open to that, or you don't want people to reach out to you? Like, they want to
Yeah,
be,
yeah, they can reach what, on Instagram?
I don't know, wherever we could put it in the description.
Yeah, 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 sure thing. Yeah, I don't mind.
Yeah, because sometimes people like to feel that connection with someone and then reach out, and your
Yeah,
story might have
yeah,
touched someone's heart. Yeah.
yeah. And it's better when you have a positive experience, you give them a little bit of hope.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yes. A lot of
yeah,
hope, which is
yeah.
needed. All right. Thank you. Thanks so much.